take a walk down the D.
What's up, guys?
And they ain't no drugging. My credit's a game. While you searching for some trick to put the shit in her name, I'll be spending on Washington.
Happy Tuesday to everyone. Rest in peace to the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Yesterday was MLK Day, and it was freezing. I'm based out of New York. I didn't even go outside. That's how crazy it was. So, other than that, without, being in New York and it's freezing, I wanted to talk about management stuff today. Because I was looking at a little interview with Public Announcement. Everybody, you guys remember R.Kelly and Public Announcement. And I always wondered what happened to Public Announcement, because I thought they were so dope, added on to R.Kelly. And it was like, you heard of R.Kelly and Public Announcement, and then after that, no more Public Announcement. So it was interesting, and this is why I wanted to talk about management stuff today on my live, because I'm looking at the interview. This lady on YouTube, I don't remember her name. She was interviewing a couple of the guys from Public Announcement, and they was talking about how they linked up with R.Kelly at a showcase and auditioned for him in a bathroom, and how they just had a verbal agreement in regards to, I guess, the next step in Public Announcement's career. And it was like R.Kelly was with another guy group and it didn't work out. So apparently Public Announcement became the replacement group, which was actually good, right? But what baffled me is that one of the guys was like, they didn't have a written contract, they didn't have a manager. And I was like, wait a minute. This dude, R.Kelly, is about to sign, at that time, he was about to sign a major deal with Jive. And the understanding was that R.Kelly was going to come out, Jive Records, rest in peace to Jive Records out. They wanted to have R.Kelly come out as R.Kelly and Public Announcement, like have a group backing him first to see how, I guess, it goes. And then from there, the group and R.Kelly split ways and they go into their separate careers, which Public Announcement was aware of that. That's actually good. However, I'm just like, they were young, but to me, even when you're young, you should know better. Parents, somebody should tell you something. They didn't think to have a contract, a management contract, or some type of written agreement just to cover them as a whole and as well as individually. What's up, Frederick? It just shocks me. And I look at all these unsung documentaries. I love watching them because you learn so much from other people's mistake, and just some of it is just common sense. Like, artists don't go and make verbal agreements nowadays with other artists or even managers or record labels in regards to your career, because that will backlash. It will backfire, all of that on you as the one that looks incompetent. And it just shocked me that Public Announcement, good group as they were, and probably still are, you never know, probably still could sing, that they didn't have written agreements with R.Kelly. So he pretty much got what he needed out of them. I don't even know how many albums they put out. It wasn't that many. Maybe it was one. I don't know. Just saying hypothetically. But People, we gotta do better. And when I say this, if you're an artist in anything, whether it's painting, making clothes, whatever, you got managers, don't go into a verbal agreement with that, because what happens when you blow up and this person has total control over your career? You're like pretty much out the loop, you know? And I'm just wondering now, I'm like, I like to ask public announcement, like, who owns your publishing? Does R.Kelly? I mean, hey, we know he don't own his publishing, because from what I understood is that Aaliyah's, rest in peace to Aaliyah, her family, as well as Aaliyah's uncle, own a lot of the publishings of R.Kelly. Yo. It's just shocking to me, but yeah, I want to know, do public announcement own their own publishing, you know, or they even getting any of that money? Because, you know, people still play that music probably on the radio overseas or whatever. It's just crazy to me. So I'm looking at a lot of the unsung documentaries, excuse me. And it's just like managers, this is why managers get a bad rep. And I would tell you in the beginning, I did not want to be a manager because of stuff like this. Knowing that I don't do stuff like that, but I'm just saying, gives you a hard way to go when you're legit and you're doing the right thing, you know? So I was thinking about that. Then I was also thinking about, on another note, how artists that don't have any work completed in front of them are not doing anything. They putting out music here and there. They're not thinking about the business aspect of their career, and then they just run up to you and be like, I need a manager. That's some artists that's doing that. And then you ask them, why you need a manager? Because a lot of managers are not saying that. They're not saying, yo, why you need a manager? If they see, and this is sad, but you got managers out there, if they see you making some money, they trying to jump on it. And let me tell you something. With me, it's about the artist. Yes, the money will come. You have to make money for the artist. But for me, it's always been about the artist. Because if the artist is good and making sure the business affairs is taken care of, then you will be good as the manager. But if your focus is only on money, it's not going to last. So then I also think about how, like I said, people, they talk about they want managers, artists out here. And they want managers when stuff is in shambles. And they expect you to come in and fix the stuff that they created and messed up on. And you probably have no idea what happened, what's the real reasons. That's happened to me a couple of times where people have called me because they messed up on certain things and they didn't really talk about those issues of what they did and how they went about doing business the wrong way. And then they expect you to come and fix it. And then you come into a situation where this is not really my responsibility. Lord have mercy. So I was just thinking, like, yo, when are people gonna have some common sense and really take time to learn the business side? Yes, you get a manager to manage your career, but what are you doing before you get the manager? Are you learning all the different aspects of what you need to make your career go to the next level, or it's for it to be successful, or it's to progress? Like, a lot of artists is not doing that. And I'm just like, It's crazy, you know. And then I see you have some artists that if they don't know you, they not rocking with you. It's like off a referral. I understand that to a certain extent, but a lot of times you do have a low percentage of good managers, such as myself, where people may not know nothing of, that actually can get the work done and do it well. But a lot of times artists will front on that manager because I guess they don't have a roster, or they're not managing anybody, or whatever the case is, and they'll sleep on them. And what happens is that, what up, Creative 7? What happens is that a lot of times artists will open their eyes when you start working with someone that they respect, or that artist is big, and they be like, oh, now I need to work with that person. I've seen that all the time. And I'm going to tell you something. I do not want to work with an artist that doesn't want me to manage them. You know, a lot of times I get tons of referrals from people, you know, people pushing me, or friendly harassment to manage someone. I gotta, personally, this is my opinion, I gotta love their music. I don't think it's good to manage somebody who you don't love their music, because it's like, how is it going to be even more easier for you to get work for this person if you don't know nothing about them, you don't like the music, you don't like them, you know? And I think that I have to like, this is not that I think, I know, I have to like your music in order to work with you, because it makes it easier. On top of that, I have to see how your demeanor is. I've learned so much in regards to artists and the craziest things that they do and say and all of that. You really have to, as a manager, you really have to sit down with the artist and see if you guys are on the same page. Because a lot of times, artists are not going to tell you the truth about what's going on with them, about what what bridges they burn. That's one thing I could tell you guys when I first got into management, is that when it was all said and done and then you walk away from the artist, I didn't realize that they had burned bridges with certain people. So it made my job even harder. And they wasn't going to be honest with me and say, hey, I don't deal with this person, I don't deal with that person, blah, blah, blah. So it's a lot of things that you learn, but as a manager, you need to really sit down with the artist that you're thinking about managing, their career, which is their life, and see if it's going to really work out, you know? And a lot of times, I'm sorry to say, artists they're not always honest with you, you know? And a lot of artists, they make bad decisions before you get into mix of working with them and etc. So when I do get referrals, which I'm very grateful to get referrals, because, what's up, Mudan? I always get referrals all the time, because surprisingly, people will watch you. It be people that you don't even think watching you. They are watching to see exactly what you're doing with this artist, where you're going, such and such. I will tell you guys, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I managed anyone, and that is my choice. I made that choice. I said, you know what? I could do what I want now. You know, because when I manage someone, I'm all in. If you have dope music, if you are super talented and everything, I will work with you the best of my ability to make your career go to the next level. But the worst case scenario is you get an artist that has all these talents and they don't listen, or they want to do what they want to do. I'm not saying that I know everything, because I don't, you know, but for the most part, I study my craft, and you learn from trial and error. So in that sense, like I said, when people send me referrals, and they have been sending me referrals, and people have been calling me, and I get lectured about why you won't manage me and such, because either, number one, you don't listen. That's one. You're not trying to come out. You're not trying to learn about the business on the back end. I think every artist should learn about the business side. Yes, you have the talents to know about the music side. You're excellent with that. But when the business, I think every artist should know about that. Have your publishings together. Know what percentage the label is. You should know a majority of stuff than what the manager knows. So if something come up, you will know. And a lot of times I see artists, they don't know anything. You know, they don't read contracts. Even if you have a lawyer stuff, read that stuff yourself. And if what you don't understand, ask questions. If you have a manager, the manager should be able to help you and let you know. If the manager don't know, the manager should be able to get answers from someone that knows. Then I see also times that people have managers and they hitting me up. Like, yo, you got a manager. Why are you hitting me up about information that you should be getting from your manager? That's like a red flag there. You should be asking the manager that you hired. I don't know. So I say all of this, guys, to say, if you are an artist and you have a manager, communicate with your manager. Your manager is like, it's like a husband and wife relationship without the sex. That's how it's supposed to be, like platonically. You're supposed to be transparent. The manager should not be hearing that you're talking about them to other people or it's something negative and it's totally wrong, whatever the case is. You should be very transparent. And you, the artist and the manager should be on the same, in the same playing field. You know, so when somebody approaches you, they can't come at you crazy, because guess what? The artist knows what to say and what not to say, as well as the manager, because y'all both aligned. Y'all on the same page. So when I was looking at all this stuff on YouTube about public announcement and just the unsung with managers, I'm like, yo, people got it all twisted. And managers get a bad rep and they shouldn't, you know? So other than that, a lot of people ask me, will you get back into management? Yeah, I will. But it takes the right artist. It can't just be, just because you talented don't mean behind the scenes you're nice and you have your stuff together. Because you got a lot of artists like that. It takes a certain type of artist. And I'm telling you, I have my eyes on certain artists that I really want to work with. But time will tell. And when it happens, I will let you guys know. It's a handful. It's not a lot. But it's a handful, and they're super talented. And sometimes when you watching from the outside looking in, you kind of can almost tell what the artist is lacking in regards to their career. But anyway, artists, my advice to you is don't get any and everybody to manage you, and don't sleep on a manager that's actually good that no one really knows about or know a little about. You know, do your research, interview, have face-to-face conversations. Don't do via text and emails and all of that. If you're looking for a manager, really check them out. Out of my whole career of managing, I've had one artist to ask me for a resume. And that is like dope to me, that an artist would be saying, you know what, let me see your resume. And my resume is pretty damn good. But yeah, one artist to ask me that, and he is super talented. So I can respect that, and he will get that resume. But yeah, guys, managers, if you want to be a good manager and stand out among the rest, don't be trying to use that's bad in English. Don't use the artist for your advantage. If you want to manage an artist's career, be serious. Treat it as it is your life as well. You know, because however the artist is portrayed in the public and is successful, people are going to want to know who is that artist manager, and it comes right back to you. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my thoughts for today. Just thinking about stuff in the new direction I'm going, and yeah, I love doing management. I have passion for it, and I think a lot of people know and understand that. And it's not for me, even though my job is to make money for the artists, it's not always been about money for me. It's about organization, structure, transparency, communication, and just getting that artist opportunities to get to the next level. And a lot of managers ain't doing that. So that's my thoughts on that. On another note, I just found out Chris Brown is detained in Paris over allegedly rape charges. I'm like, Jesus Christ. There's always something going on. That's so weird to me. Then I was looking at Erykah Badu defending R.Kelly. I see where her point is, but I think it was, people just took it out of context. And I think it's just the wrong time to even mention that, because let's be real, R.Kelly has done a lot of things to a lot of black women, mainly. And nobody's really talked about it for years. It's been over 20 years. People have been knowing he's been doing this stuff for years. And you can't, even though he's the prime focus of the problem, you got to also look at all of the adults. It's just crazy. He needs help. He needs to get some serious help. And he really needs to confess like what he has done to people, you know. I see Sony dropped him. I'm like, I really want to know what's the reason all of a sudden after 20-30 years or so, why labels want to drop R.Kelly now. I mean, I understand Jive Records, they've been in business for years, and then I guess they got bankruptcy or something like that, or they closed down, so he went to another label. I knew he was doing this for years. He must have pissed, R.Kelly must have pissed someone off. That's how I see it. And that manager, the ex-manager, I think the ex-manager got arrested because he up here signing documents that wasn't true in regards to that marriage license for Aaliyah. I was like, yo, you guys are so late. Crazy. On another note, what's up? Thinking of, I was seeing this is on another topic though. We're seeing this girl named Jasmine. She was up in a club. I don't remember her last name. and apparently she was doing a live, and they said that the guy raped her. Yo, we live in a crazy world. I was like, wow, you can't even go out and enjoy yourself anymore. I don't know. It's just something fishy with that story. You don't know what to believe. You have to really, people will start paying attention to stuff. But yeah, she was on a live. She was lit. You could tell she's a little intoxicated. You could tell something was going on. She looked like she has been drugged. But it's just, it's weird. And then the guy did an interview, the accused rapist, allegedly. He did an interview saying that he didn't rape her. But I don't know. First of all, I'm going to tell you something. For women, when you go to clubs, if you go to clubs, it's not good to go by yourself. That's one. You should be going with a group of trustworthy women or friends that y'all can look out for each other. I remember back in the day when I used to go clubbing a lot in college, and people know I used to be up in the club dancing, didn't drink. For the most part, I was with my homegirls, and the agreement was, if you go to the club, you're going to enjoy yourself, dance, but we're going to leave together. And if we don't leave together, it should be agreement. We should have a driver's license, something of the person that we're leaving with. But 9 times out of 10, you ain't leaving with nobody. I don't know. This world's just totally different now. So here it is. This girl talking about she got raped. The story is just so crazy. If she did get raped, definitely sorry to hear about that, because that's not on her birthday. I'll tell you. Sometimes when you go to the clubs and you go to places, I will tell you, dudes get thirsty as well as women. It ain't all dudes. Women be getting thirsty too. Just got to know how to handle yourself, and you got to know when to stop drinking. Because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can get caught up in a situation like this. So we don't really know. I mean, I haven't really watched the whole video. We don't really know what happened. There's so many different stories. Jesus, I hope the truth comes out. In the words of Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And think about when you go out at night. This is directed to the women as well as men. When you go out at night, be careful who you associate yourself with, and you know, drink responsibly and be aware of your surroundings. That case is so crazy. Anyway, guys, remember, if you're an artist, or if you want to become, if you're an artist and you're looking for a manager, take time to find a manager that really has your career in mind in a positive light, and be transparent with the manager. And manager, if you're looking to manage an artist, find out, do your research before you manage an artist. Find out if they have any bridges that they burn, or they don't get along with other artists, or they're banned in certain places. Find out all of that and talk to them and be transparent, because if you sign on that person is your responsibility as a manager. And just because artists tell you, oh, I want you to manage me, and will friendly harass you and all that, that doesn't mean you have to do that. You know? As a manager, you have the right to choose who you want to manage, as well as the artist. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be shenanigans. None of that. So happy Tuesday to you guys. I know people are gonna ask me what I have on. I had a meeting today. Shirt is by Uniqlo, sweaters by Zara, and yeah, this is Ani. I wish you guys all well, and I'll see you on the next live. Stay focused. Peace.